Warning, this video is intended for adult collectors. It contains plastic collectibles, questionable opinions, and a guy that loves his Japanese noisemakers. Incoming random review in 3, 2, 1.
So I talked about the other Bumblebee movie figures. I guess it really wouldn't be fair if I didn't also talk about Wheeljack as well. And I'm not even sure why I skipped it. And you probably wondered why. I skipped it so you would wonder why. So ha 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 ha, fallen into my trap once again. No, I just kind of put it off is what I did. Because I didn't want to just talk about the same old kind of theme over and over and over again. So let's talk about that theme one more time. So, once again, just like all the others, we have a very Cybertronian looking vehicle mode, this time very much race car inspired, looking quite nice to these eyes. He is cast in an off-white plastic. This is not the yellowing that these toys have been doing lately. No, more likely that this is just like a little bit off in the shade, so it doesn't match Ratchet like spot on. You know, in that regard, you know, I think they did a decent enough job. Excuse me as I'm trying to turn down the lights a little bit so maybe the white doesn't like bleed out completely. I've been struggling with that in this particular review style. But yeah, I'll get the gun out of the way. The gun pegs in on the top on these weird shaped slots, not a 5mm peg. You won't actually find one in his vehicle mode that's actually usable. A little bit of a rarity for these vehicles these days, but I don't know. It seems like a little bit more common in the Bumblebee movie figures. So, as we know, the Bumblebee movie robots were not meant to transform, so they came up with this vehicle mode all on their own, and it looks really, really good. I love how this vehicle looks. I like the windshield here going through the front. Doesn't really need an engine section. It's a Cybertronian vehicle. You know, it's an Autobot. So, making like a unique shape with the windshield, I really dig how that looks. He's no Cybertronian hover van, but you know what? I'll take a Cybertronian Wheeljack any way I can get it at this point. We do have his traditional green and red racing stripes and colors around. I like the mix he got going on here above the cockpit, driver's seat, whatever I want to call it at this moment. Red going all the way through. Little bits of green. Lots of little tiny lines. I actually really like the very thin lines going through here. Lots of tiny detail, which is actually really cool, going into the green front end as well. Headlights are also done in translucent blue. That's going to lead to a lot of clear plastic usage, which we'll discuss once we get into the robot mode, because, oh boy, this figure definitely needs to be spoken about. And then we have at the rear, there's nothing at the rear. There's no attempt to hide the robot parts in the back section. Once again, the hubs are painted on the sides, and the wheels are actually the same translucent blue. They actually got mileage out of that translucent mold on this one. It actually gives them a little bit of a Cybertron style, like a Speedia Planet vehicle with the clear wheels. So it's a little subtle throwback to that. But yeah, I really dig how this vehicle mode looks. You can even see the race stripes went along a little bit on the side as well. Very nicely decoed vehicle mode. And decent roller too, considering its mushroom-pegged wheels. Alright, robot mode. Now I will admit, I've never quite been great at transforming this one, so you'll excuse me if I just kind of like ham-fist my way through the vehicle in this regard. I'm going to start by trying to basically unseed some tabs here. I usually start here at the back, folding out the arms, and then undoing the tabs here on the sides. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is get all this to untab so I can rotate it out. Oh well. Like I said, I'm not the best at transforming this particular one. Undoing that is going to help a lot. So I'm going to push Wheeljack's head out the back. And then I'm going to unseat everything here and start working on transforming the legs. Flip these up out of the way. Unclip the feet, folding them forward like so. The legs have quite a few little transformation elements to them here, which actually makes them kind of fun to work with. So I need to get these. Hang on. If I can get them clear of these parts, I need to actually rotate these door sections, which is not cooperating with me tremendously right now. Alright. Like I said, I'm not good at transforming this particular figure. This is on me. Don't do this. Like, don't rush into a figure. It doesn't help that it's late, and I'm just kind of like cobbling through because like I just need to get content out for while I'm gone. Alright, so I'm going to go back to the arms, rotate those all the way through. That's going to form most of the chest right there. You can fold out the wings while we are at it. Wheeljack's head is on this whole like upper section here. I'm going to have to rotate that down, and we're going to start getting that together as well. All this is going to fold up. That piece is going to fold in there. That's going to fold up in this direction, and all that's going to come forward. Now, I'm gonna shore all this up here in a bit. Let me actually properly get the legs transformed now, because I'm so good at it, obviously. Oh boy, this will tell you how late I record. I totally forgot how the legs work. So this panel is going to fold to the back side. That is going to give us the room to rotate this down and become the side of the leg, and then this pulls outward, rotates around, and then clamps back in. I totally forgot. We haven't had a slide pin like that in a long time. That's actually pretty rare for them to go to anymore. So, going to do the same on this side as well. Make sure all this is properly out of the way since I already screwed it up. That little panel here is on a double hinge, so make sure that's aligned correctly before you start pulling it over. Rotate this down, like so. There's a tab in the back that's going to peg into a little section on the side. I had kind of forgot to do it on this one, so we'll make sure that's all lined up so all those panels hold together. Alright, one more shin to rotate down and close up. There we go. Legs! And now, push all of that together into the torso. Clamp the front of it down. Make sure all of these little tabs line up correctly. Come on. There we go. Also, because I know someone caught me, yes, I did forget to fold that into the vehicle mode in order to cover up one of the gaps. I kind of like it better that way. I kind of like the extra color in the vehicle. But, nevertheless, that's going to be Wheeljack into the robot mode. It's a tricky transformation. It's one that you have to remember the steps, and you really got to do them in the right order. Cobbling through him, as we just demonstrated, is not going to work out very well. So practice him a little bit before you really go gung-ho on how exactly he transforms. Once we got him in shape, though, he's looking pretty nice. Not only, nice and accurate to how he looked in the movie, but also just a nicely proportioned and interesting looking robot mode. A little bit stockier than I'm normally used to seeing out of Wheeljack. Not necessarily bad, though. I'm still digging the look of this figure overall. I'm going to take a look at the head, because that's what we do at this point in the videos literally every time. He's got his classic Energon-empowered ears, I guess, if that's what we're going with. So the classic Wheeljack head has been redone in a movie style. It's like the others, with a lot of extra tech greeble and detail, but here you can definitely make it out. It definitely helps that his face is known for just being, kind of like a grill, and then the ears are kind of like the biggest standout to him, as well as that kind of like tri-mohawk thing going on. So the head is definitely recognizable as Wheeljack, even though the tech greeble is maybe a little bit overboard. Alright, so design-wise, we've got a lot more exposed little bits. The forearms and midsection especially have a lot more tech detail added to them. You can see more we go and look on the inside of the thigh. The gunmetal has overtaken a lot of the white from the vehicle mode, so nice even mix, breaks it up really well. I really like how the color shapes came out on this one. Not too shabby as far as a vehicle, as far as like a clean robot mode aesthetic is either. He definitely has like a nice, nice clean look to him. The legs themselves, like they do have some leftover car parts, but nothing too distracting. It's pretty much, standard Transformer fare. I'm more bugged by the spoiler pieces on the backs of his forearms. That's a little bit more noticeable and annoying because there's nothing you can really do about them. But overall, a little bit minor. Not really going to harp on it. So let's get to something I am going to harp about. This guy does use a lot more translucent plastics than some of the others, aside from how much of it is in that torso section. More disturbingly is the feet, which are all translucent plastic for the sake of making those headlights, which I do not think is worth it. So that's something to watch out for, especially when you realize like it is a translucent hinge that's holding all that in. So that's something to be mindful of. More importantly, there is a ball joint in there. That's how the ankle rocks. It's on a ball joint. I don't like translucent ball sockets. I just don't. I never will. I've never seen it end well. But that, I know not everyone worries about clear plastic like I do, but I feel like it's worth warning people about. So, overall look, dig it. He looks fine. I do wish things close together a little bit better in the torso. As you can see, it's kind of easy when you're moving and manipulating the arms to kind of pull it apart, because these tabs don't hold in too well, and nothing from like the closure holds things together, like clamps things together like it should. So that's a little bit of word of warning. Beyond that, everything seems to hold together just fine. Structure looks good. Joints feel solid. His only weapon is going to be that rifle he comes with. This time it actually fits into a normal 5mm port. And speaking of, we have 2 on the bottom of each foot, and then we have 1 here on the back that you can use if you want to give him some extra equipment. So not too many parts here, but a little bit of option if you want it. Articulation wise, head is on a ball joint as well, 360-degree rotation as well as an up and down in a decent range of motion. Ball jointed shoulders allow plenty of motion there. The wings are hinged, so you can get those out of the way if you need them. Double jointed elbow with a beautiful range of motion there. Love to see it. Bicep rotation as well. Waist rotation works really nicely. Ball jointed hip. And then the thigh swivel, working nicely. 90-degree knee bend. And then, yes, it is a ball joint at the ankle, which does give you some forward and back, as well as a little bit of tilt to the inside. So you do have plenty of motion and range. He's not missing anything. And yeah, double jointed elbows, always a nice thing. That's my look at Wheeljack. Aside from him being on the small side for a deluxe, he does have a lot of stuff going for him. The transformation takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you're beyond that, it's at least an interesting transformation. And yeah, very, very posable. I have my clear plastic fears, but overall, between just a nice layout of the robot mode and a very nice vehicle mode, I do think he is a very, very nice figure. Definitely worth picking up. I'm actually really impressed with all of the Bumblebee movie studio series releases. It seems like all of them have been engaging to play with, very nice looking. Actually really, really impressed by Hasbro, considering they had to invent half the toy themselves. So, bravo. I really like how these came out. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.